Hello.
Hi. Okay, so we're in the second perek of the Brisa.
Hello, Rabbi Chaim, Rabbi Yoshi.
Okay, I'm Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky. Called Sofa V'Noshim, anybody who gazes at women, Sofa de Avera. Meseches Kalla Rabbasi. Called Mafnat Somin Avera V'Lo Saw. On the other hand, anybody who turns away from Avera and didn't do it, I feel Yisrael who, even if it's just a plain Yisrael, Roy Lalos Ola Kekoin Gadol Gabe Mizbeach. He's worthy of bringing an Ola as a Kohen Gadol on the Mizbeach. Shemar Shlachas Na Rei B'nei Yisrael. He sent the young lads of Israel. I'm not sure exactly what the learning. We derived that. How he derived that? Let's see what Rabbi Chaim explains it. Anybody who makes stuff lazy from the Avera, so which seems to be a lower moderator than somebody who's mafnat from the Avera. Just lazy, doesn't turn away, just makes stuff lazy. Needs somebody to have a Shechina. He enjoys the radiance of the Shechina. Shneimar Vayerez Zolchim Vayochel Vayishtu. They at that same event, the nobles of Israel enjoyed the radiance of the Shechina. Rashi, the Ragunkel says it was as enjoyable as if they ate and drank. Rashi says they shouldn't have eaten and drinking. They were punished for that. Sounds a little bit more like unklus. That's a reward. Okay, says the Reb Chaim. Bryce, which name of Yisrael is the Rebbe Yisrael. Elu Bachol Yisrael. These are the young men of Israel. Shlo Tomu Tam Chet. Shlo carry me a man. Not sure how he knows that. They didn't say carry here. It seems like they're concerned with not doing aver with women, not that they didn't have emissions. Okay, but let's see. Maxi Bey Vayalus V'Yizbuchus V'Achim. They did these. They brought korbanos. Avagav Lav Kohanim or Bechoros Habu, even though not neither Kohanim nor Bechoros. Us in aver, someone so Ota aver misatzim la soso. He refrains from doing it. Moramu the Atzel Ba'alif Tanan. Okay, so it's a different meaning. Not lazy in avera, but noble above and beyond doing the avera. Listen the kiyus from the king of avera, he's clean of averos. It says not the nobility, but the lazy ones. Since they were lazy in avera, came by Yechsu b'chulei b'gom komer by Yechsu b'shu hanu shuni zoni v'ziv ashchina. They were received their nutrition from the divine radiance. So it sounds like, according to this, that they're both similar. Avera and anybody who's atzum in Avera, I don't see the difference between the two of them. Maybe the Gemara is going to give a difference. Maybe not. Iboilu otzel tanan with an ayin or eitzel otzel with an aleph. So not Tashma B'Tzilei B'nei Yisrael. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not cast his hand against that Tzilei B'nei Yisrael. So my mashma the Hein the Tzilei Lishna the Nekuyehu. It's language being cleaned. They'll say about Salti Min HaRuach. It's interesting reference. Let's see a bigger. Otzel Tanan Mishish so Otzel Min Averet not Otzel B'Ayin Tanan. Oh, Eitzel B'Aleph. Which one is it? The pasuk there says with an aleph. Listen to kuyahu, language of cleanness. Listen to kuyas, who min avera, but it's clean from the avera. Let's out min haruach. Afrish min haruach shalecha. I'm going to take from the ruach which is upon you. The santi alayim, I'm going to bestow it upon them. So evidently, the idea is precious. Atzilus means precious. I'm being, in this case, to be mafresh, the spirit from Moshe Rabbeinu, and give it to the others. Pushun avera means those who are mafresh themselves, separating themselves from doing averos.
Okay.
Do we do that? What? No.
Not yet.
Okay, back to the Gemara. Tanya. Olam haba. Ein bo lo achila v'lo shasiya. Doesn't have eating or drinking, lo period of a review, or reproduction. El tzaddikim yoshim b'atosim b'Hashem. Tzaddikim sit and their crowns on their heads. And then we see Shechina derive pleasure from the divine radiance. And again, that's supposed to be in lieu of eating and drinking. They get their sustenance from the seeing, so to speak, radiance of the Shechina. Meisei Bakasha Ye Pisas Baba Oretz Barosh Hamrim. There's going to be a clump full of bar, which is food, in the land at the head of the mountains. So it's going to be food at the head of the mountains. Where's the head of the mountains? This was not like the words of God. It's hard to climb up a mountain. No, it's hard to press grapes. Really, to step on them. Leave tsar to harvest olives. Kosh Baruch brings the wind out of its warehouse. It blows upon them. And it causes the produce to fall to the ground from the tree. Adam says so. The person goes to the field. Maybe Malo Peroseh brings back full of its fruits. Based on which he can give to eat to sustain himself and the members of his household. If you're going to say that everything is spiritual, why do you need to have sustenance? Going further, says a woman's going to become pregnant and give birth at almost the same time. Women's going to eventually give birth every day. Which doesn't receive reward but lays eggs every day. So the woman's going to have eggs every day. Well, I'm not sure which is which. He changed the girsa. Not claiming Tchias HaMesim, lit Tchias HaMesim. In other words, at Tchias HaMesim, there is no eating and drinking there, because that's Mamash Olam Haba, which is much like the Rambam. The Olam Haba is not a physical place, because according to the Ramban and the others, Olam Haba is a physical place. It's much more simple to deal with having eating and drinking there. But this seems going like the Rambam, that Olam Haba is an ethereal place. And there's no eating and drinking there. The Moshe Mashiach, of course, he passed like Shmuel, Ein Bein Moshe Mashiach, Ein Bein Mazeli Moshe Mashiach, El Shibu Goliath Bilvad, that the only difference is that we're going to be free to do as we please, but it's not necessarily going to be a physical rebuilding of the world. So therefore, there's still going to be eating and drinking. Okay? Ye Pisas Bar Barosh Harim. Pisas Rishim Lo Pisas Yad. It's like the totality of the palm of the hand.
One previous.
They were satiated from divine radiance, as if they drank. You can't say, even though Rashi says it there, that at the same time they're seeing God, they're also eating and drinking. But Shasiyah tells you they didn't need to eat and drink. They would get nourished from the radiance of Shekhinah as if they didn't drink, which is Paskus. Where the miracle which happened to Moshe Rabbeinu when he was up at Har Sinai. As Nizam Shekhinah, he didn't eat and drink for 40 days.
Right.
Yipisas bar barosh harim, pisas tarish malo, pisas yad. The extent of the palm of the hand. V'hainu mazon. So evidently, Mali pisas yad refers to the
Ubar hainu mazon.
Sorry, Varna Muslim, you're right. Varna Muslim. So Amalamba Yadam will say Malo Pisas Yada Bar Barosh Harim he's gonna gather that amount of food at the head of the mountains. Find the Sayim, and that which concludes that it concludes I guess it's going to the next part. The time going to say like it's that it, like it says here. So you're drinking. What do you do with this thing when everybody's going to have pisas bar? You have a palm full of grain. She goes pregnant. You'll let her. She gives birth. The fetus is quickly rendered complete. Is my muat. Let's finish a quick time. So it says if she has relations every day, I see she's going to give birth every day. So it's a woman. So you see,
we
there
don't
is
tell our wives this, right?
what?
We don't tell our wives this.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. It squares away with the idea of nida and all that. This is can't be taken literally, all this, because a woman gives birth, she's tamei for at least a certain amount of time.
Right.
So it's not being taken literally, obviously. High time race and time bain which give a period of review, Litchias Mason goes here. Bossy must have share. High time shall is Yom Echad. Person is going to be given birth in one day, which may be Panasasa, Blotor, and it's going to be able to bring his Panasa without any effort. He must have Mashiach Ma'irei. So in the days of Mashiach. Litchias Mason. Ein bo lo achila v'shisiyav lo period of review. There's a mason that all goes away. So you must have Mashiach is part of this world. There's a mason is another higher level of functioning.
Okay.
Okay. Brisa. This is actually brought down in Shulchan Aruch. This is a very difficult halacha to understand. It obviously it seems to be something which is metaphorical. Anybody who has an emission. Now, the pouches, the emission is obviously when you brought on yourself. Not if one happened to have an emission while one was sleeping or something like that, but somebody actually, aroused himself to the point that had an emission.
Right.
So, ki'ilu horig nefashos, it's to be killing souls. So, shochte ilodim in the they shech their children in the flows. Atikre shochto, don't read it that shochto, which is slaughtering. Ela sochto. They're squeezing out children. In other words, the potential of the sperm to become a child is considered to be as if it has a life force.
Okay.
So squeezing out for naught is a form of murder. Says Rabbi Chaim, those who squeeze out from the body. It's read interchangeably. It's as if he kills the kids. Tanya. Gerim umotzim shichva zer batola ma'akvim es ha-Mashiach. We're waiting for more gerim. Until all the gerim are converted, then Mashiach can't come. That's kind of a somewhat positive. But on the other hand, shichva zer also marking the Mashiach. I assume because there are souls which are supposed to be born, and they're not born because you're motzi zel batol, as opposed to trying to, to have children with it. So, if you're not, the certain amount of the shamas which has to be born before Mashiach comes, right? So it says, "Bishlama motzim the shivla zel batol dam Rabbi Chaim ben Daiba atshluchu kol neshamas shebaguf." See, kruv anayatov and neshamas in asisi. A spirit will come out. Will come out and wrap itself before me. The souls I created. So we see that a certain amount of souls must be created. Therefore, until they're created, the gula can't come, and the Moshe Torah is counterproductive in this a great mission. Now, this seems to be a second thing, right? Gary, my time up. The Tanya, not because we're waiting for Gary, or maybe it is, but it doesn't seem to be possible. The Tanya Koshim Gerim Lisokas Apachas. Gerim are difficult for Am Yisrael, and they're like a plague. They're going to be added on, which is referring to a plague on Bnei Yisrael. Okay, it says the Chaim. There's a warehouse or a treasury, the Shmo Guf, and it's called Guf. The gracious notes to call Neshama Sasisli Vale, and from the beginning, all the souls which are going to be born were created. And they're placed there in this giant warehouse called Guf. He's preventing them. He's delaying them from coming out. So he's impeding the coming of Mashiach. Mashiach nikra ruach. Okay, Mashiach is called spirit. You see, ruach hapeinu Mashiach Hashem, the spirit of our brow, the designator of Israel. That's King Yoshio. Vali Brusho, the cross. This is what Pasuk says. Mashiach
Milfanai, Ya'acher.
Milfanai, from front of me Yacher, Yeshua Shama Shani Asisi, because the Shamas I made Shadai Lokom in a goof, which are still in the warehouse. V'yatov Hainu Yacher. They're coming late. Like it says, the late born sheep went to Lavan. Gave my time, Marcus Mashiach. So I said, because we need to wait till they will come. He says, not that way. He says, Mishayim Mishum the Tanya, it's because we in the Brisa. Nisbuchu Abeis Yaakov. Harik Siva Kra. This pasuk says, V'niva Aleim Hager, they will join up with the Jews, the Gerim. Nisbuchu Abeis Yaakov. They're going to be tacked on to the house of Jacob. The Darsh Nisbuchu Lashon Sapachas. The Darsh Nisbuchu is language of Sapachas, which is a plague, leprosy. Shekashim Yisok Sapachas. Why is that? She'em Mekim Mitzvos. So it says, not because they don't convert quickly enough, because once they convert, they don't know exactly how to do mitzvahs. And the Nevi'im Puranos, they bring harm. And also maybe the Jews are going to learn from their deeds. So it's not because we're waiting for more Gerim, but because Gerim are fouling up the process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's an anti-Ger Gemara. Back to Brisa. Chacham Hamim. Anybody who's motzi zer v'atola mevi machli v'diburo, and somebody who fibs. It's an interesting comparison. Let's say v'atola, I guess, is for naught, and fibbing is for naught. Kilu oved avodas chachamim. As if there's a zer. So ulayim b'shein aviva yisi v'nokim mitateya. Yaakov was afraid that the Yisuk is going to be like a mitateya. Tier 2 is like is Avodah Zarah. Rachel was saying Tohinu, Titanu. Go there. Last post in Shema. No, it's not in Shema. Sorry. By
Kol Hema Ma'aseh Tatrim.
Yeah, Kol Hema Ma'aseh Tatrim. It's
in Yirmiyah.
Yeah, I know it was referring to Shema. Never mind. No, I meant in Hashamnu. That's what it is. I know I said Kriya Shema. In the Hashamnu, in the Vidui, right? To'inu, Shichasnu, To'inu, Tiavnu, Tiatonu, right? Is that the last one? Tiatonu? To'inu, Shichasnu, Tiavnu, To'inu, Titonu. Yeah. So Titonu is the last one, right? So Tiatel verse Hevel Hema Ma'aseh Tatuim. They are works of vanity. I think Tatuim is like playthings. So here for Chom is not allowed to put your hand on your organ. Shloshah is saying that 3 hands. So Shloshah says that all 3 should be cut off. Yad Lama, a hand going to the organ. Tikot Seitz, Nesh Lamato should come cut off because it arouses him. Yad Ayin, a hand to the eye. Tikot Seitz should cut off. They should say because it blinds the eye. That's because the bacteria or other germs on the finger. Yad Chisuda, a hand on the Chisuda, which I never saw his faces for, but it says in Perek, the trachea. He could say to Nation they she will stone him because it's going to choke someone to death. Yad Magberes Yetzahara, the hand also enhampers Yetzahara. Yad Masameh. It causes blindness. Yad Maleh Polipus. Also causes some other malady, which Cornelia identifies as body odor, which comes from the mouth or from the nose. Okay, it says Rabbi Chaim. Bryce, Chama Chachamim, Chama Yishira says Kilo Abed about the Zarkim sign. Ukaru Sutza Gasin Rach. Ukaru Sutza is different Girsa. Shneimar and Nechamim Bailim. Those who heat themselves up with the with the rams. I think it means the sticks. In other words, they use their hands in order to arouse themselves. Under every fresh tree. Yeah, they use pieces of wood to arouse themselves. I don't know exactly how to do that. The pleasure seekers. The to make themselves heated up, and produce zera for not. The wood of the trees. Evidently, it's something they did under the trees. Somebody who changed what he said. I didn't speak truth. Oh, so Yaakov Avinu is afraid that it's going to be found to have lied. Right? Machli viburo. I lied. Basically, they're going to be like a because anybody who can lie can also lie about who's God. And I'm trying to take you out the Hamashalom in Nation Mechamam because it rouses him. Shlosh name, 3 hands. Shlosh dorim also come to be 3 things you're not allowed to use your hand for. Shlosh tzitza. Noach Yashlohem shetikot seitz. He better the hand be cut off. Terem she has suzos before they would do these following things. Yad la'ayin shesholeach yado la'ayin kodem tiyazdaim chakras. So he still has a ruach ra on his hand before washing in the morning. V'nation sameh ruach ra shel yadayim sameh also. The bad spirit on the hand blinds him. Yad chisu the perish shemokam hakaza. Because the perish hakana tzarech lomar hakaza. So he says that says hakana. The trachea is a mistake. It's not talking about choking somebody to death. It's talking about when you put your hand on the place where you let blood. And again, the idea is infection. Because since your hand is dirty, it's going to affect that place where you let the blood. Something is also before you didn't wash your hands. Putting your hand on the wound is hard for it, meaning it's bad for it. Yad lama magber tzitzar yad l'yim same yad l'belchotem male polipus. Because polipus, my farish, my polipus reach pape reach achutem. Bad smells from the mouth and from the nose, and that's what Gemara is about to say. My polipus abai omar reach pape. Halitosis. That's what I don't know what that's called. It says a hand which checks is really good. So sex is going down, it seems, to the organ to see if he's a zov or not. No. Hasam benashim. Right? That's about women. Says even men should check. If he's going to check, if he has to check if he's a zov or not, then it's a good to check because he doesn't want to be matame stuff. If he's down putting his hand down, then that's no good. Okay, it says Gemara and the Chaim. Yamar leave dog mishuas. We initially thought it's hand which is constantly checking the organ. Carry. Maybe he had a mission. When he became tummy mishubachas, that's praiseworthy. How could it be about the Martasuya also Yadlam? I'll put your hand to your organ. To God says it has to be cut off. I've got Valentina Gemara. Tana Gvul Yeshla, even though the Gemara says, well, it depends what you're touching. Even at Lamala from the crown, meaning the end of the bris milah, where the triangle widens out, from that and below, and what below is the big machlokas. Does below mean towards the body or towards the ground? So it's machlokas. But anyway, above is okay. Below usher. So we don't want to say here talking about where you're checking from above the Torah. They didn't allow that either. Only for urinating. The bahi myre hasam it doesn't. There, it's okay because you want to brush off any drops of moisture. People shouldn't say they see drops of moisture falling to the ground or on your clothing that you have that you were castrated. Needs a matila as abanav, which will cause his children to be scoffed. But not to check himself. Okay, so that you have to remove any drops. So now to check himself. So my the woman checks always. That's fine. That's good. Shemar Sadam, since maybe saw blood, Hasim Mishubachas. That's good. Toch Shemi, Toch Kach, Lo Asi, they Suffolk, Z Tuma. As a result, you walk up to the Suffolk Tuma. Plus, the Yisur comes in Isser. But awesome, Linyan Ziva. In terms of Ziva, claim which you have to win a Zok. For Otsev, leave Dok. He wants to check. That's for himself. The nose we saw to count how many times he saw Stein Tumor, which means after he saw 2 times his tummy. After 3 to show carbon, after 3 times he requires carbon, Inamik should suffer on Shimonikim, or else the Zav has to check himself during Shimonikim. That's the one which is praiseworthy. The Zav is the guy to check himself. The guy who's just doing it for unnecessary reasons. That's the one who we're concerned with. Hasi and Simon Mishasman is over royally took a dog, even though it's so shame. Oh, we just said it.
Okay.
Okay, stop here.
Yeah. So stop recording. I want to talk to you for a second.
Yeah.